Welcome back to Talking Lead. This is episode 22, and we'd like to thank
our bandwidth sponsor, Firearms Radio Network.
That's right. Go to www.firearmsradio.tv and get to see all the other shows that are on there.
We have the HG Press, which is Holder and Green Professional Real Estate Services, part of the Benchmark family.
And now, the new one we have, All or Nothing Tattoo.
Out of Atlanta.
Out of Hotlanta, Georgia. They are some amazing, amazing artists down there.
I don't have a tattoo, but if I were to get one,
that's where you go.
That's where I'm going to go. They're going to have to come up with something special for me. Their website is www.allornothingtattoo.com. Allornothingtattoo.com.
If you want to get any of their gear, they've got T-shirts. They actually sell some artwork on there. You can go to strangleholdmerch, merch.com. That's www.strangleholdmerch.com. They got some really cool merchandise on there. I've been wearing a lot of their shirts this week. Just the stuff they pump out. Go to their website, All or Nothing Tattoo. Check it out. They got great stuff in Atlanta. So what'd you do with guns this week, Left Hand? Actually, what am I saying? I think I know what you did with guns this week.
We did a tremendous amount with guns this week.
Yes, we did.
We went and visited our old buddy, James Yeager, at Tactical Response.
Up at Camden, we took Fighting Pistol.
And that boy put a learning on us.
He did, man.
Didn't he?
The stuff we learned was amazing. I mean, we got to shoot. We learned a ton of shooting stuff.
Zeke, I thought I could handle myself in a confrontational situation.
Okay. I was in the same boat.
Prior to this class, I mean, I was like, hey, I got this covered. It's no big deal. And somebody comes at me, I boom, boom. Dude, I'd have been dead.
Yeah.
From what we learned in this class, I knew nothing.
Yeah. And
absolutely nothing.
It totally changes your whole mindset on being in a gunfight and a gun situation. Other fighting situations we talked about.
Just any confrontational situation.
What to avoid, what not to do, how not to dress.
Right.
It's a mindset thing. And
the whole thing is avoid confrontation to begin with. Don't hang out at the wrong places. Don't hang out with the wrong people. Don't put yourself in that situation, and you're not going to have to ever worry about it. Well, not going to say ever, but your odds are drastically reduced. But if you do find yourself in one of these situations, boom, here's how you're going to handle it.
You know what to do. I mean, there were so many, and we're not going to go into it because we think that everybody should take this class or a class like it somewhere where you're at. But there's so many things that you think you know what to do. There's so many things that you do when you're training, like at a range, that are so wrong.
And we've said this time and time again. Your permit class doesn't teach you squat. You know, it's nothing. That's just a formality so you can get your permit. Once you do that, you need to immediately make that part of your permit procedure. Sign up for one of these classes. Fighting Pistol is the one that we took at Tactical Response. Mm-hmm. And again, it doesn't have to be there, but you can't go wrong by going to those guys and sign up for one of their classes. There's other ones around. But get something like it, some sort of a defensive pistol class. And
continue to train. Don't just take one and be like, okay, I'm ready. Because there's stuff that I'm sure we still don't know that we could learn somewhere else. I mean, one of the guys in our network, Paul Markle, Student of the Gun, that's what he's talking about with the name of his show, Student of the Gun. Always be a student of the gun. No matter how much you know, no matter how much you learn, you're always going to be a student of the gun.
It's like anything you do in life. Don't get complacent.
Don't think you know it all.
Don't think you know it all. Don't get complacent. Always look to get better, learn something new, relearn something, because you get rusty, you forget things. Relearn something. Take, if you've took a defensive class before, it's been, several years, take another one because there's probably some new techniques, new styles, different things that you're going to pick up on or things you just forgot. You want to say anything else about Tactical Response?
Oh, we just want to thank James Yeager. Also thank our trainers, James and Scott. They did a great job, taught us a lot, and just want to thank all the guys up at Tactical and ladies. We had Marilyn and Mary. Mm-hmm. They helped us with a lot of stuff up there. So thank you guys, Tactical Response. Check them out, www.tacticalresponse.com.
And also Get Off the X.
Yeah, getoffthex.com is their forum. So you can go and find out more about their their stuff. So we are going to be doing a fundraiser. There is a organization, a really, really good organization called Hawks Locks for Kids. And what that is A.J. Hawk, football player from the Green Bay Packers, also played at Ohio State. He, as everybody knows who follows football, he used to have long blonde hair, I think in college and some in the pros, and he cut it off and sent it to a company that does wigs for kids that are going through chemotherapy, may have alopecia, just any kids that have like a condition where they need to get a wig. And Left Hand and I are going to grow our hair out for a year, along with...
I'm going to try.
He's going to try. I'm going to try.
I've had it before.
Doug Daddish, who was on the show last week, he's going to do it with us. We're going to do a special little YouTube video, hopefully in the next few weeks. It's going to kind of launch it too. But we encourage all our listeners to do the same. It's a very good foundation. There's a lot of kids, sometimes this can really attack their self-esteem when they lose their hair at a young age, and whether it's from chemotherapy or any other conditions. And we want to be able to do something for them. So easiest, cheap way, if you want to do, I mean, it is. It's inexpensive. It's free.
Doesn't cost you anything. Grow your hair. You actually save money from the haircuts that you're not going to be getting.
Hey, there you go. But whether it costs money or not, it's worth it. Grow your hair out with us. Send us pictures on Facebook.
Or if you've already got long hair.
Yeah, or if you've already got
Go
long
ahead
hair,
and cut it, donate that, and then start with us.
So if you want to participate, grow your hair out, get it cut. Or if you already have the long hair, go out and get it cut. There are some guidelines. Go to Hawks, HAWKS, locks, LOCKS, for kids.org, hawkslocksforkids.org. You can get the specific guidelines. It has to be at least 12 inches. You can't put dye in your hair, do anything like that. But you can see all those guidelines on there. We're definitely going to start it. We'll be posting pictures of our hair growing out, getting messy at first, and hopefully getting our long Viking-like locks, or Chewbacca-like locks, as most people have been saying to me. But anyways, we're going to get that going. AJ Hawks Foundation up there with Doug Daddish, and we'll try to get some other celebs that we have on, and maybe some YouTube guys that do the same. So just a really good foundation, hawkslocksforkids.org. I do have a correction from last week. I said, you asked me where I got my rounds for the training. Mm-hmm. And I said from Nashville Armory.
Right.
Well, I didn't get them. I didn't buy them from the Nashville Armory. You were concerned that they sponsored me and not you. It wasn't like
concerned.
that. I got a guy.
I was going to say, Andrew, such a tight ass.
I know this. We love you, Andrew.
Would he give me a discount on a hat? But anyway, neither here nor there.
I got a guy I know at the Nashville Armory that he's the one that hooked me up. So I want to thank you to him. I didn't want to.
And I knew that.
Throw him in the bus. So
giving you a hard time, dude.
Anyways, you have a jackwagon of the week this week. Who's going to be on our jackwagon?
Well, I've got a correction I need to make.
Oh, you got
also.
a correction too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said it was my grandmother's 90th birthday. It's her 95th birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
And she still parties like she does.
She called me cussing like a sailor, saying, "What do you mean?"
She listens?
No.
She listens to the show at
She
95?
didn't. She's the sweetest. You never hear a curse word come out of her mouth. But it was her 95th birthday. Sorry, Granny.
So her 95th birthday, man. And y'all threw down pretty hard at her birthday party. 95 years old, man.
We had a nice little get-together with the family.
Even if I'm like comatose, I want everybody to party that hard at my 95th birthday.
Great. She 3 greats. I think she's got 3 great.
Yeah.
Like great grandchildren. Because I got a great niece, so that would be her great granddaughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at least that many. There was a lot of people there, needless to say. But,
there. Another thing I've been doing with guns this week. We launched a Instagram page a few.
We did?
I guess it was about a month ago. Yeah, I was tweeting a lot.
What's Instagram?
Instagram is like a picture thing. It's kind of like Twitter for pictures.
Oh,
and
I didn't know
a lot of pictures I saw on Twitter were coming from Instagram. So I'm like, okay, I'll start this Instagram thing. Go to Instagram, and it's same as everywhere else. It's just Talking Lead there, and you can see some of the stuff we post. If you're on our Twitter page, you'll be able to see them because I've got it linked. As soon as I post a picture on Instagram, it zaps right into the Twitter feed. Some cool people that we've hooked up on there. Of course, All or Nothing Tattoo. We talked about them in the beginning of the show. There's this company called Last Ditch Effort Gear. They have got some cool stuff on there. And there was one he posted today that was a challenge coin that was shaped like a grenade, and it said Last Ditch Effort, but it also was a bottle opener. That thing was awesome. It was like a functional challenge coin. That was pretty cool. But I think their website is lastditcheffortgear.com. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It's just lastditchevergear.com. They got some really neat stuff on there. Got a bunch of morale patches, T-shirts, a lot of paracord stuff. Really, really cool paracord stuff, which you and I are both into. We both got the paracord bracelets. But
yeah, I got some of my knives wrapped in paracord also for the handles, things like that.
So check them out.
Another thing in guns this week, we got our grips in from Ergo Grips.
Oh, yeah.
For our 1911s from Ernie Sandoval. And
thank you, Ernie.
You guys check them out, ergogrips.com. It's part of Falcon Industries. They do a whole line of not only grips for all kinds of different handguns and ARs, but they've got 4N rail covers. They've got, he also sent an AR, it's called Sure Stop. So instead of like a foregrip, one of those vertical or horizontals, this is just a stop that you can rest your hand into, which is very minimal, takes up very minimal real estate on your AR.
Nice.
But is very functional. So I'm trying to get away from the Magpul vertical grips that I've got. They just take up a lot of real estate. So I'll get this stop. I'm going to try it out and see how it works too. But the grips are awesome. I mean, he sent us 2 different styles that we're going to try out and test. One is kind of a stippling type grip, and the other was like a waffle. I don't know if they call it a waffle grip or not, but they've got a very positive grip to them. I mean, they're kind of a plasticky type material, but durable. So I'm looking forward to trying those out. But yeah, Ernie with Ergo Grips. Thank you,
again,
sir.
We
appreciate you. We'll be posting your interview from NRA coming up soon.
That's actually the next one that's coming out.
Cool. So we'll shoot you...
probably next Tuesday.
We'll shoot you a notification, let you know that. Check them out, ergogrips.com.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the talking lead jackwagon of the week, so brace yourself, baby.
So, Left Hand, who is our jackwagon of the week this week?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, it's got to be those dweebs in...
Did you just say dweebs?
Dweebs.
I don't think I've heard dweebs since like 6th grade.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I can't say dickhead.
You can, I just bleep.
Or heads.
I bleeped that one too.
Yeah, but the jackwagons are those guys that attacked the soldier in London.
Or heads.
Yeah, or heads, whatever they are. They're unnameable. But anyway...
They're jackwagons. They've
got one of the guys, and I'm going to read his name, and I'm not going to be able to read his last name, but it's Michael Adibowal. So, yeah, dweeb.
Should I bleep that out too?
Yeah. So, yeah, he is a dweeb. There's another one also. There was 2 people charged in the murder of this guy, but supposedly what they did is this guy was hit by their car and attacked by these 2 guys with knives just outside the military barracks in, Woolwich, southeast London. Prosecutor said that this guy was arrested with a gun, which is a 9.4 millimeter Dutch caliber called KNIL model 91 revolver, which he intended to use to cause violence. No shit.
I think we're setting a record for bleeps.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I mean...
It's frustrating. These guys are jackwagons, and for them to do this in public, and they ended up beheading him, right?
Yeah, they cut his head off.
They're just sick people.
I mean, it just enrages me. That's the word I'm looking for. I mean, It enrages me beyond belief. And this happened while we were on our way to the training. So I didn't hear anything about it until sometime after class. Somebody was mentioning it there in the class. And I was like, what?
No.
A beheading? I was thinking it was probably over in Afghanistan or something like that. But it happened right in London, where those jackwagons don't allow people to have guns to defend themselves.
Wow,
especially military people. I mean, he's a soldier, for God's sake.
Interesting.
So they run him over with a car. They stab him. They try to shoot him. I think the guy's gun jammed or didn't work or something like that, or blew up. I think it actually blew up in his face. And then they go on and behead the guy. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's crazy. Jackwagons. Welcome to the jackwagon train.
I'm very interested in how this case is going to play out.
We're going to have a special part of the jackwagon train, like the prison cart of the jackwagon train. Yeah. That's where they're going.
There's
the first visitors.
The jackwagon train hellhole. We'll call it the hellhole.
The jackwagon train hellhole. There you go.
There's our first 2 for that. May they sodomize each other to death.
Well, hey, Left Hand. We've got a special guest on the phone right now.
We had a call in?
Yeah, we did.
Who do we have on the phone?
Guy.
That sounds
Gabby.
familiar.
I think it's Gabby from Top Shot All-Stars in Season 4 also, right, Gabby?
Yes, that's me, the same one.
Nice.
Hey, Gabby, so you're calling in from Miami?
Yes.
How's the weather down there?
Oh, my God. It has been raining all day. The shooting night has been canceled. So,
Oh, man.
well, I know. I guess dry fire tonight.
So when you do your dry firing, what do you use to test with or to practice with?
Well, I use the same pistol I use for competition. I use my Glock 17, and I just practice my draw and all that stuff. But for me, very important practicing my, trigger and shooting technique and all that stuff, all the fundamentals.
Do you do it in front of the mirror?
I do. You know what? Sometimes I do, and sometimes I just don't. Because
Gotcha.
then I get distracted of, how's my hand? How's my legs? I'm like, all right, let me get off the mirror.
Do you ever use any of the, whether it be snap caps, dummy rounds, or even something like the SIRT pistol that Mike put out, Mike Hughes?
I've talked to Mike a few times, and unfortunately I haven't had a chance to actually practice with one, something that I'm going to definitely talk to him. I would love to do that in the future. But, I normally don't even practice with snap caps.
Gotcha.
Perhaps with a 22, with my 22 rifle, I will do that. But with my Glock, I just, Glocks are Glocks.
Yeah,
that's right.
Them up.
Nowadays, I mean, most newer handguns and even some rifles, you don't even need snap caps. It's completely safe to dry fire 'em.
Yeah, center firearms, it's not an issue. I had once a student. It was so funny. He got his pistol for the first time, and he shot it with me for the first time. And I told him, hey, okay, now I want you to do dry fire. And he looked at me like, what? Do you have something? It's not. The manual said I cannot do dry fire. Don't worry. You can do dry fire.
You can't wear those guns out, can you?
Well, because you believe that he was not he was not willing to do dry fire. So, okay, we'll skip that.
Well, since y'all had the Top Shot premiere for the All-Star season last night, did y'all have any kind of viewing party, or you and your family, or anything special? Or did you just sit at home and watch it?
Oh, my God. I wish you had a camera in front of me, because my smile when you said Top Shot got bigger than normally is. I still have the excitement from last night. Yeah, I had a watch party with my friends, and actually had random people that were like, oh, my God. I heard of the watch party, and when I come by, I said, yeah, it was amazing. It was very, very nice. And it's exciting because it's kind of living again everything, and seeing everything again, which,
So you guys filmed this, about a year ago?
Almost.
Wow.
So, exactly. So there's a lot of things I remember, like yesterday, but some other things I was like, wow, exactly, that happened. I completely forgot.
I know that they make you guys sign a confidentiality thing that you're going to keep quiet, for this whole year. How hard has it been for you to bite your tongue when people talk to you about the show?
Most people ask me that question, and perhaps season 4 was more difficult. For me, season 4, when people ask me, so Gabby, did you make it for season 4? Because my friends knew that I applied, It's like, yeah, I applied for Top Shot. So then I was like, oh, my God, I don't want to lie. I don't want to be a liar. Blah, 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 blah. Trying to be a good girl and all that stuff. This time it's like, sorry, dude, I can't say anything.
A little bit easier second time around, right?
Yeah, the second time around. And now my friends know.
Mm-hmm.
They also know this time. They know, okay, don't ask her anything. She cannot say anything. So it's a lot easier. It's fun, actually.
It seems, too, and I haven't watched all the seasons, but I've watched a few of the episodes of each season. But it seems like they've kind of stepped up their game as far as, like, the different competitions you have. Like, that first one y'all did last night was pretty intense.
They're getting a little more challenging, aren't they?
Well, yeah. I have to say, when we walked, this season was everything from the beginning, like a surprise for all of us. Because, you saw right there on TV, right, that we're going to be, and that's how History and Top Shot promoted it.
Mm-hmm.
No teams, everything is individual. Well, guess what? We did not know that until we got there.
Wow.
You didn't know what to expect.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking, okay, we're going to have teams again. How's this going to be? So for us, in a way, it was like, wow, so this is how it's going to be. And then the proving ground was different. So it was kind of intense in that way that you don't know what you're getting yourself into or what are they going to make you do. You know, that's the difference with Top Shot. That's the excitement of being part of it. And people that like that, some people like, oh, no, I just shoot my duck or I just shoot my thing. Here it's like whatever, you know.
Can you reveal where they shoot the show?
What?
Can you reveal where they shoot the show, where it's shot at?
Well, I cannot say exactly the location, but it's in California.
Okay. In California.
Go figure.
Now, when you guys are, I don't know if they shuttle you out or how they get you. Do you all go in a group when you're on the trip out to the house? When you first got there? So I can imagine the conversations that you guys are having, trying to speculate what's going to happen, huh?
Oh, I've had, I don't know how many, times we have tried to speculate and tried to figure it out and get into their producer's mind about what they're going to do next. We never got it right.
Nobody was even close, huh?
I mean, you can put 16 people knowledgeable about firearms and different backgrounds, and we came up with such a crazy ideas of how we could do this next challenge. And no, didn't happen.
Do they ever get your guys' input on different things they could do, or maybe no, they don't even get your input on that, huh?
I mean, if you think that we have to be, very quiet and secret about, Top Shot and all that, those guys are expert on that.
They're pros at being quiet.
Yeah, producers, nothing slips out. It's like super secret, and obviously has to be like that, so it's fair for everyone,
Gotcha.
So
how do you feel about answering some questions from not only us but from our listeners?
I love that. I actually, when you guys contacted me to do this, I thought, whatever questions that you guys have, I'd love to answer them. And if they are from your, fans and followers, I'll be definitely more than glad to.
Awesome. Well, we've got a big 3 that we ask everybody that comes on the show. And it's just 3 basic questions. We just get a little bit to know about you and firearms. But first one being, how did you originally get into firearms?
My dad, he went to Venezuela. He went to the range, and then he saw a junior shooting team, and he said to the board, hey, I have 3 girls at home. So they all 3 girls would start shooting.
Awesome.
What age was that?
My older sister back then, she was 15. I was 11, and 10, my other sister. Interesting is that my dad thought that myself and my youngest sister, we were too young to start shooting. So he kept us doing dry fire for a year.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
It's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Well, that I have been thinking that I think that's what made me so much, in love with the sport, because after a year, I'm like, I'm going to shoot. Please.
You couldn't wait. It's driving you nuts.
You learned all the fundamentals first, right?
I'm going to be a big girl like my sister.
And then another question we ask is, do you have any military or law enforcement background at all?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't know. No, nothing.
But you do have some
Olympic
backgrounds, right?
Yes. I'm proud to say that I'm an Olympian. And, when I was very young and really loved the sport, and I worked hard with a lot of limitations back in Venezuela, in my home country. But, I made it happen and made my dream to be in the Olympic Games.
Awesome.
Weren't you the youngest, or were you the first female on the Venezuelan?
Yeah, actually, after years. I mean, I don't know exactly, but I would guess between perhaps 30 to 40 years, no other than there was a Venezuelan athlete, shooter, a man who went like 30, 40 years before I did. Mm-hmm. But since then, it has been like the door open for the shooting sport in my country.
Oh, wow.
So you can...
That's not only that was the first woman, but pretty much my country after me has been present in Olympic Games in shooting.
So you paved the way for other females for that sport in that country.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Way to go, Gabby.
How many medals?
Trailblazer.
How many medals have you won?
Medals were Olympic or
yeah, Olympic medals.
No, Olympic medals, like in the Olympic Games, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
But you've done Pan American Games and
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
so you've won other ones.
I sure did. It is, you know, sometimes you don't know how life is going to take you. I did the Olympic cycle that we have to do in South America, and we end up in the Pan American Games. Well, all those travels that I did, Brazil, Peru, you name it, and all of them I won silver medal. And when I went to the Pan American Games, I was like, man, silver medal again. I mean, imagine, Pan American Games is the second best shooter in the continent. And I was just thinking, when the gold is going to come? But, you know, that's the spirit of the athlete. It's, you know, always trying to be best. And my best reward was that medal. I earned my spot to go to the Olympic Games. So
there you go.
Was my gold medal.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then the third question we ask, when it comes to pop culture, whether it's a movie, a music video, video game, whatever, that involves firearms, books, that involves, you know, guns, what's kind of like your go-to? What's your favorite?
You are asking me? I'll say Top Shot.
Top Shot. There's the right answer.
That's not a shameless plug at all. Not at all.
What?
You know, if you wouldn't have put the show, perhaps you would have had another answer. But no, it's Top Shot.
So remind me next time, Left Hand, we have another Top Shot person in. Don't ask that question.
Don't ask that.
We'll just know.
We'll say other than Top Shot.
There you go.
So let's do that to you right now. Other than Top Shot,
what's your second favorite?
What's your second favorite?
Well, I really like this book called Winning in Mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Winning Mind?
No, Winning in Mind.
Winning
I
in Mind.
actually read, it was a very nice book. I don't remember who wrote it. I read it years ago, so that's very
awesome.
Now, speaking of books, aren't you in the process of working on one yourself?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Excited. Yes, I'm very excited. You know, people ask me about what is the difference between myself and some other instructors, and I say just the fact that I was instructor for 10 years. I had a coach next to me. So what I put in this is actually a shooting manual. This is not a 300-page book. I would have taken me a lot, but actually tried to make something very straightforward, very simple, a lot of techniques that is very easy and understandable for people that are getting into shooting sports, and some others that they have been, you know, shooting for a long time, but for some reason they cannot make it perfect.
Maybe they're stuck at a plateau in their...
Yeah, it's like, man, you know, I want to shoot good, but still. So, and it's a book that is designed to any age for anyone. Like, if you're a kid, you know, you can give it to a kid, as a gift for teenagers, an adult, women, men. It doesn't have any gender. It doesn't have any age. It's just I share my knowledge.
It's a book for all ages, huh?
Yeah, I really share my knowledge. I think there's a point in life, and don't think I'm thinking I'm old because I'm very young. But there is a point in life when you have got people behind you teaching you and you know, making you be better and all that stuff. There's a point where you want to get that knowledge back. It's like that sport has given me so much. It's like when I give it back, it's like, you know what? I want people to enjoy and what I enjoy in shooting, and that is when you are doing things right.
Sure.
And I can imagine with your background and your history and experience, being an Olympian, being on, you know, the Top Shot show, you've got your own instruction school down in Miami, correct?
Yes.
You've probably got more knowledge than most people that, you know, have been shooting for, you know, 50, 60 years. Just everything that you've done in the short amount of time that you've done it.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, I know what you're saying, and you're saying it great. And like I tell people, it depends. Most people can be knowledgeable, but what are you knowledgeable of? You know, and my knowledge goes beyond regular shooting, as you say. So it's all about mindset. It's about, you know, trusting in your abilities and trying to understand why your body wants to do this when you want to do that.
And that's one thing. That's one thing we were just talking about with the. We did a training this weekend. That was a lot of it was the mindset. You know, the breaking the chains of thinking what you're gonna do, but when you actually see it, it's not what you do.
Definitely, and you know, I'm doing this. The name of the book it's going to be a series of books, and it's actually called Troubleshooting.
Nice. Troubleshooting.
Troubleshooting, because at the end, that's what we do. We find solutions.
That's right.
It's a book that you find solutions. So this first one is marksmanship of your pistol, and you know I have some other troubleshooting, but it's going to be mindset and so on and so forth. So this is only the first part.
First in a series. Nice.
Yeah. Mhm.
And do you have a release date yet?
No, I actually, oh my God, you know, I am very picky when stuff like this, because I'm putting my heart into this book. I mean, I wrote the book. I actually designed the layout of the book. I designed the cover of the book.
Wow.
Because I want the book to be the way I want it to be, you know. Yeah. Every picture that you see in that book, inside of the book, the way it is because there's a reason behind it. And I thought about it.
And you did it all yourself.
Yes,
yeah.
Basically.
You and I have talked before in the past, and you're a very hands-on individual, and you like things to be a certain way. And, you know, we were talking about that with your book, and, you know, why it's taking you so long to get the book out. Gabby, get somebody else to help you so we can get that book out. Let go of it.
I know. You know, the other day I was watching a movie, and actually The Prince in New York, it's an old movie with Eddie Murphy. He's coming from Africa. I don't know if you remember.
Coming to America.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a classic.
They were interviewing one of the girls to kind of have a date and stuff like that. And there was one. She was saying, "Okay, I want to have my first movie. I want to be the first actor. I want to be the first." I'm like, "Oh, that sounds like me. I want to do everything."
That's awesome.
But well, you know, sometimes I really have dreams, and I don't let them just dreams. I really try to make them happen.
We've also got some listener questions here. Left Hand, why don't you take that first one?
Sure.
All right, and we've just left everybody anonymous. They'll know what their question was. This one wants to know about Season 4. What was your toughest competition in Season 4?
Well, most people say, and I would say that too, I think, was the 1,500-yard shot. Obviously, I was eliminated that shot, but it was not challenging because I didn't do it. You know what it was hard for me? Not knowing. It's something that really bugs me is when I don't know something.
So you can't prepare for it?
Yes, it's the knowledge. Because your brain, you know how to walk, therefore you might know how to walk fast. But you might not know how to walk and jump at the same time fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so I think that challenge was, I wouldn't say toughest, but I would say was that kind of thing. Like you say, my God, I wish I knew how to do it because I know I can do it.
Oh yeah, I think everybody knew that you could do that shot too. Everybody knew you had that shot in you.
I actually did it. It just took me 2 minutes and 20 seconds or so,
Gotcha.
And not 1,500 yards. But I wish I could have done it faster. Definitely.
After those competitions, did they give you a chance to go back, like off camera, and try it again, or is it once it's over, it's over?
Yeah, once it's over, it's over.
That stinks.
You have one, certain amount of shots and time in certain challenges, and if you don't make it with that or within that time, that's it. Your time is up.
You're gone, huh?
Well, this next question is anonymous, but I'm thinking it may have been Left Hand that wrote it in, but I don't know. I won't call him out on this, but the question is Colby really that cute?
Oh, that sounds so good with your voice.
He's a handsome man.
Well, you know what? It was funny. This time, in the previous season, Colby was very, separated from us. He used to go just to the challenge, and we'll see him there, and that's it. This season, he was very, interactive with us. He even sat with us during lunch, and we'll talk about guns and stuff. So I think that's what makes somebody, cute or cool or stuff like that. So in a way, he's a very cool guy, and yeah, he's cute.
So his attractive factor went up once you learned he knew a little more about guns, right?
Yeah, right. Well, no.
If you see him, you need to tell him that there's this show called Talking Lead that really, really wants to come do his Texas Triggers event thing.
Ah, cool. Definitely.
Do you interact with Colby any after the show? Do you guys still stay in contact with one another?
Well, no.
Not so much?
He's definitely a different aspect. He has different businesses. He has his own stuff. So not much connected. Sometimes I see him in, trade shows like Shots
Different events. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and he'll be like, Gabby, and we say hi, and we talk and take pictures. I mean, super nice. Like,
he's got a car restoration business, doesn't he?
A what?
A car restoration business?
You know what? I don't really know. I just know he has his gun range and all that stuff.
Got a gun range.
Perhaps one day I'll go and do that.
Yeah, it looks intense. I mean, they have all kinds of firearms, zip line stuff.
This is at Colby's range?
Yeah, it's called Texas Triggers.
Oh, we should all go out there, Gabby.
There we go.
We'll drop in on him.
That'll be cool, too.
All right, so let's get to our next question. It says, who was the coolest person besides you in Season 4 and All-Stars?
If I say she, everybody's going to be, oh. But I have to say, Chris Chang was a very, easygoing person. Not complicated at all.
Yeah.
If you will be like, hey, Chris, you want to do this? And he'll be like, yeah. Hey, Chris, what do you think about that? Cool. So, it was a nice guy to hang around and talk to, whatever.
Drama-free kind of guy.
Yeah, very nice. And cook, like a chef. So that makes him even cooler.
That he can cook?
That even makes him even better.
There you go.
Amazing.
Whole nother dimension.
And on Season 5, on All-Stars, I would say something that most people think is weird, but Adam, most people think of Adam, Season 1, that he was very, kind of... most people didn't like his attitude in Season 1.
Yeah, had a bad attitude, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. He was very nice, and he will have always jokes and always cool stories, and he will be bugging me because he was the tallest guy in the house, and I was the smallest girl in the house. So, I think those two will be my pick.
So you think Adam, despite his appearance on Season 1, he was a pretty cool guy?
Yeah. I mean, I really had a great time every time we hang out, everybody on the, either sitting outside and reading books, or whatever. It was pretty cool.
So you can tell us, we've only got like 4 or 5 listeners. Nobody will ever know. Who just annoyed you?
You knew that was coming, Gabby.
Who's what?
Who was annoying?
Who was annoying?
Who was just a jerk?
Well,
is there anybody that was you just couldn't stand?
In season, which one?
Both. Let's go both. Season 4 and All-Stars.
I would say in Season 4, somebody who today he loved me and his family, and because I never fought. I mean, I never, was against him or anything. It was Colin.
Colin?
Yes, Season 4. He would always bug me, and he was always you know, making fun of me and stuff like that. But I'm very easygoing. I'm like, you know, if people say, "Oh, you're short," I'm like, okay, cool. I know that. Tell me something I don't know. You know.
I get the opposite of that all the time. It's like, hey, you're tall. Yes.
You remember Zeke, don't you, Gabby?
Yeah.
Like,
so in season 5, you know what? Everybody was very cool. I can't even say anybody that annoyed me.
Nice.
So you can't say that you're glad that Greg was the first one eliminated? You don't have to say anything.
No,
You take the fifth on that one, Gabby.
You know what, Greg? I know him, and obviously, I mean, last season, all the time I stayed on season 4, he was there, obviously, and he's a cool guy. It's just sometimes the way he says things.
He's whiny. he is an excuse meter. Oh my gosh!
Excuse meter or excuse maker?
Well, I was going to say monger, but it didn't come out right.
It came out as meter.
He's got an excuse for everything. It's like even last night, we were watching it last night, and I was like, okay, what's his excuse going to be on this Peacemaker? Oh, my hands are too big. I just couldn't get it to seat properly, and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, oh, my gosh, please stop it. Bless his heart.
Oh, well.
Well,
at least
Next question.
she's slick. She knows how to do this stuff. Well, you kind of answered the next one we have. It said, do they give you practice runs on the competition prior to doing them? And you've pretty much said that's once you get out there, that's it, right?
Well, sometimes we have practice.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes we do. Actually, you're going to start seeing it. Like in season 4, you know, we have the practice day, the challenge day, and the elimination day. Now, the difference with the practices is that we don't really have much practice at all. Most people think, oh, I can do that. And I'll be like, yeah, with a firearm you have never touched before, and you have only 10 minutes to do it. Yeah. It might not seem so easy.
On a wobbling platform, upside down. Yeah.
Perhaps. So those are the challenges that, you know, the contestants that we're getting into, you know, that knowing that you're going to shoot and you need to shoot perfect and good in order to stay in the competition with a firearm that you have never shot. You don't know if it's zeroed or it's in good condition. It's just there.
That was going to be my question: is do they zero those guns for you guys prior to?
You know, it is a tough call to say that. I wouldn't say they're completely zeroed. Sometimes you have to hold up and you have to deal with it.
Right.
I mean, that makes the competition a little bit more tougher because you have to guess. But, you know, everybody has the same condition.
Exactly.
So
I was going to say, but at the same time, everybody's got the same condition.
Yeah, you have to go with it, whether you like it or not, you know. So, it's pretty cool, in a way.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's what makes that show, I guess, is as real as it can be. Is you guys don't have the opportunity to practice these shots prior to.
No, I mean,
except for those couple times.
Just to give you an idea, in Top Shot in my season, the day I was eliminated, in our practice, okay, the farthest shot I have done so far before that practice was 500 yards.
Wow.
With a rifle. We shot the practice was 750 yards, okay? Even with the help of George and Kelly, I managed to, you know, kind of dial in the rifle, and I had the best shooting group. But then the challenge was twice. It was 1,500 yards.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have that practice.
No. Wow.
You know, and you have a 40-mile wind. And so it's like, okay, what do I know?
And that's something that they don't really tell you, other than if you see the flags blowing, is if there's wind conditions or, you know, what all's coming into play on your shot.
Now, yeah, exactly. But no, not all that information is available. So you have to, you know, work with whatever you have, guessing, and trying to make it as good as you can possibly can. You know, so having all your tools and having your rifle or having your firearm, yeah, and, you know, I can actually make that shot. if I have my rifle that I know, the bullet that I know works and how to do that. But making a shot in a completely different environment where, it's completely out of your control and it's time, pressure and all that stuff, I can't leave that out. Makes it even more, difficult in a way.
So on the first competition, I mean, they no holds barred on this. I mean, they just came out swinging with the first competition they put you guys through with the 3 guns there. When you saw what you guys were doing, I mean, you had a really awesome time, and this is one of our questions here too. What was going through your mind prior to making that run?
Well, I was worried. Actually, when we were walking down, to get to the challenge, when you see us on TV, walking under the entrance, I was just seeing that rope. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach it. That was my main problem. I've never done, like I said, I'm not in the military or I don't have any law enforcement background. Therefore, I've never done any type of obstacle course, which for some people might be something simple. Like I said, you put me a gun in my hand, voila. But put me something like this, I'll try to do it. But so I was very worried about that, trying to make it good. And the guys were so supportive. They were like, don't worry, Gabby, you're going to do it. You just need to put your both legs there, and you're just going to pass super quickly. And actually, that I think their encouragement, the same team members, the green shirt guys, kind of said, okay, you know what, let me do it. Now, when I saw Gary shooting the ball on the last station that he couldn't shoot for so long time, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be able to do this. So, yeah, the challenge, it was not easy in the eye. It was faster than perhaps I thought it were going to be. And it's all about, like I said, mindset. Your mind plays so many bad things instead of seeing you, being the first one. It's like all the bad things that could happen. That's what you think.
Yeah.
And you said faster. That brings up kind of our next question. Okay, was it editing, or did you really shoot that Peacemaker that quickly? Because it looked like you just kind of walked up there, eyed the target, grabbed the gun, bang, and then it was like a nearly perfect shot. Was that just editing, or did you really do it like that?
Well, obviously it takes you time to get up off the bench and walk to the table and get... So there is sort of editing in a way, because otherwise we'll need hours and hours and hours in order to put, so many hours of filming, and only, they're trying to put that in only 40 minutes.
Yeah, right.
But now that they've got rid of Greg, it'll only take them 30 minutes.
They cannot show me. They can't show me from the bench, walk to the table. No, that's not the part that is, interesting.
Right.
It's just the shooting. But as far as me grabbing the gun and aiming and shoot, yeah.
Wow.
That was it. Because if you think about it, I had only one shot.
Mm-hmm. You did. And you had a well-placed shot.
What do you need? How many times you need to aim and shoot? Just grab the gun, aim, boom.
And you were the first one to do it too.
Oh my goodness!
We'll talk about pressure. Setting the pace for everybody.
We got out of the actual challenge, and I'm in the bottom 8. I'm like, oh my God, it's not like the other top shot. I might be eliminated right now. So when we got there, they gave us the rules for everything. They said, okay, now randomly, we got to pick a number, and I picked the number 1. And I was like, great. It's not like they told me, oh, Gabby, you're going to shoot first. No, it was just a matter of luck. This is a competition.
And
people see on TV and they think, oh, it's over. No, everything is fair. I put my hand and grab a number 1. So I'm the number 1.
And your form that you did, Zeke told you earlier, we took a class this past weekend, and the form that you were doing looked very familiar from what we were taught to do during our classes. You brought it up center body, and then you pushed it out. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, as soon as you pushed it out, I mean, it was like, bam, you're right on target. You didn't wait. You didn't think about it. You put it out. You put the sight on target and pulled the trigger.
Yeah, definitely especially when it comes, believe it or not, when it comes to precision, the more you think, the worse it's going to be.
Which, and I'm not bashing on him again, but Greg, I think that was his, seriously, I think that was his problem. He sat there and he thought about it way too long.
Yeah,
During that shot.
so many things that could happen in a shooter, and like I said, I have competed a lot of everywhere around. I wouldn't say everywhere, but around the world in different competitions, and every competition is different than the other.
Yeah. Well, obviously that particular competition played well into your expertise. So, but that shot was amazing. I can't believe that anybody got closer. Was it what was the last guy that shot?
Brian Zinn.
Brian, yeah. I knew he was going to get close, but I didn't think he would beat your shot. But he put it right on the bullseye.
Well, you have to remember Brian is the 11-time national champion in Camp Perry.
Yeah.
When I got into this competition, I saw everybody that were going to be competing, especially him, Blake Miguez. I said, wow, I better put in my best game here, otherwise I'm gone. I mean, these people are no joke. So I thought, especially on, these shots, the first one, I'm the only girl. So trust me, I didn't want to be the first one to go. Yeah, because everybody
you got a lot to prove, right?
Everybody remembers that.
That's right.
Everybody remembers for years who's the first girl who got out.
Yeah.
But you don't remember who was the first guy who got out and whatever this. Or the second one. So I was like, oh my God, all that pressure being the first one and the only girl, it makes me even more...
Puts a little more pressure on you, doesn't it?
It was more intense. Yes, I have to say it was more intense. I really like to be looked at not as that little, woman that is petite or whatever. I like to be looked at another competitor that have same skills and can shoot as good as anyone.
Yeah. Well, I can only assume that, and they didn't focus on you a lot on this show. That means there's more to come from Gabby.
I don't know. I actually was surprised too. I talk a lot. So.
See, that's perfect for us. We don't have to work that hard.
But you know what? That's what I say. It's so much material that you just cannot put everything in. On one episode or everything. It's impossible. So they try, I guess, I don't know, I'm not a producer, I'm not an editor. They just try to put, stuff
You just show up and shoot the guns, right?
Well, yeah, that's all I need to do. Just show I can shoot and that's it.
So at one point, and I know they do this throughout all the shows, but, you guys have these really nice spreads that they put you up in, these houses, wherever they may be. Talk a little bit about the living arrangements in the house, the food, how they come about choosing the food, who eats what, so on and so forth. Do you get to pick your own food, or how's that work?
Well, the house was great. I always have my own room. In season 4, I was sharing my room with Michelle.
Right.
In this season, I had my own bedroom as well.
Nice.
Yes, I had to share the master bathroom with the guys, but, we had a rule. I have like a little note I'll put in the back so they knew that, I was using the bathroom, so the whole bathroom was for me.
There you go.
So the guys were very, very gentlemen, and they respect me a lot, and that's great. And so the living in the house was excellent. As far as the cooking and all that stuff, we have been blessed because last season, like I said, Chris Chang and William Bethard, those guys cook like angels. I love
awesome.
So you guys cook your own food? They don't have a chef that comes in to do all that for you?
No, we don't. We don't have a chef, but we actually cook as if we have one. So I can't complain. In this season, Brian Scenes and Chris Dorino. Oh, my goodness. I mean, talk about almost being in a restaurant, but not any restaurant, like high-end restaurant. These guys cook stuff like that. So
they
really
could have another career outside of shooting, huh?
I have to, I mean, definitely. This guy cooks amazing.
Now,
And
did you
we
cook
did
any?
I do, yeah, sure. I could Venezuelan cook anything in Venezuelan food.
Did you cook in the house during the show?
Believe it or not, Brian Scenes and Chris Dorino, they were very hands-on. I mean, I always help, but they have, like, you know, they knew what they wanted to do. So it's like
So
when
they took
somebody,
control of the kitchen, huh?
Exactly. It's like they were, you know, they own the kitchen. And I didn't mind.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, right? If somebody wants to cook for you, heck yeah.
No, I was not complaining.
So we've got some non-Top Shot questions coming up, but I have one more Top Shot question. And a couple months ago, met Dustin up here in Tennessee. He came up to 22plinksters church and did a speaking thing. And then, of course, we met him again at NRA. Does he ever not smile? He always has a smile on his face. It's like I almost want to like just go, okay, just smile, just frown, do something.
You know, I haven't had an opportunity to really interact with him because every time I see him, it's going to be in a trade show.
Gotcha.
And you know how it is. It's like we are all over the place. It's like if we met, it's like almost coincidence that we met.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's always like that. He's always smiling. He's always, super cool. And I love that because in a way I am like that. So
Yeah.
he's a very nice guy to hang out in.
He is. He's a great guy. Really neat guy.
Yeah, he sure is.
Along the lines of kind of your past, what was your most, one of the listeners wants to know, what is your most memorable Olympic moment?
When I won my medal in the Pan American Games,
Mm-hmm.
I knew after that we're going to go to the Olympics. And it happened 1 year before I went to the Olympics. During that time, I don't know why, I was kind of in disbelief that I was actually going to go to the Olympic Games, like the dream come true to any athlete.
Mm-hmm.
It's like biggest thing you can ever imagine. So until I got there and I was walking and to go to the stadium for the inauguration of the Olympic Games, and I was walking and got out and I saw all the flashes and I even cried and I waved everyone, and it's just the spirit. The spirit of the Olympic Games is something that is you can describe. People, they look at you not like like a celebrity. They look at you like heroes, like, wow, you made it to the Olympic Games. How hard do you work for it? So I think one of the best things for me was being able to be part of the inauguration of Sydney 2000.
That's awesome.
It was breathtaking. It was amazing.
Now you've got a Facebook page also, and I've been reading some of your posts on there, and you were, and I didn't get a chance to read the whole story, but there was something related to when you were an Olympian, a taxi driver that you guys had during one of. You want to talk about that?
Sure. That was so weird because I have been receiving that phone call, that number, for a couple of days already. And I'm looking at that number on my phone because it's a different phone than my regular phone. And I'm like, this seems international. That's not my Venezuelan phone number, so whatever. I hang up until today in the morning I saw the same number. So you know what? Let me answer. So here it is. This guy says, "Hey, Gabby?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." And he's like, "Oh, how are you?" I'm like, "Who is this?" And he tell me his name. And then he says, "Your friend from Australia." And I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "All right." And I'm like, "Okay, if you're my friend, how did I meet you?" And he said, "I am the taxi driver. I'm the taxi driver." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe it." Then I remember he's from the Lebanon. He's from Lebanese, and he was so nice the first time we took, we asked the taxi driver to stop, obviously.
Right.
And he stopped. We got in, all the girls to the shooting team. That was actually the pre-Olympics. No, that was not the Olympics. That was the pre-Olympics. And he drove us around. And every time we needed somebody, we'll call him. So he became our taxi driver, our friend, our Australian friend, and he will take us everywhere in Australia.
So he's like your chauffeur.
Yeah,
Private
kind
chauffeur.
of. But he was very nice. Like, he didn't mind doing it. I mean, it was his job. But like I said, that Olympic spirit and all that stuff. So he said that he worked in a store in Australia, which is a gun shop, he said, because he's in a police officer or something like that. And he said that he saw a poster with my, a poster of me, which I didn't even know I had.
So you got some unlicensed posters out there floating around?
Yeah, in Australia.
Let's just hope it's not like this shrine in his closet with candles everywhere in your poster.
I hope it's not. And he said, Gabby Franco Top Shot. So he said when he looked at it, he said, oh, my God, I think I know her. I think I know her from somewhere. So finally he figured it out, and he obviously did some research on me, and he found my, the phone I have on my website, and he called me up. And he was telling me, I don't want to freak you out. I'm calling you, but I don't want to freak you out. I was like, don't worry. I mean, I'm actually glad that you called me, because he actually brought so many good memories.
That's cool. I thought that was a cool story, yeah.
Yeah, and then he said, you know what, I went through your pictures on Facebook and your page, and there's something that have never changed on you. And he said, your smile. It seems like you are enjoying your life. I was like, oh, thank you, whatever. And I actually told him to send me an email, because those are things in life that you're talking about 10, 12 years ago, and you leave such an impact in someone. Like,
yeah, you definitely made an impression on this guy, right?
Yeah. Somebody that remembers you, somebody that remembers your smile. I mean, I'm not even talking about, oh, I like your eyes, or like something very. So I think it was a very cool story and thing to live today. It was awesome.
Well, thanks for sharing that one with us. I didn't know if you wanted to go into that or not, since it was on your Facebook page, but cool story. I like that. We'll definitely keep that one in.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those stories that you cannot write. I mean, so you can almost make it up that in a movie or in a book. Oh, this person knew me 10, 12 years ago. Actually, almost 13 years ago, and he still remembered my face from that picture. And he looked me up, and he found me. It's like, wow, that's awesome.
So, tell us, what is your absolute favorite firearm?
Oh, my goodness. You're making it very tough for me now.
Yeah.
To tell the truth, there's no absolute favorite gun for me. There's nothing called absolute, because I see guns like what I'm going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to handguns, I really like my Glock.
Nice.
I really do. I can.
And you have a Glock 17, right?
I do. Well, I have a Glock 17, a Glock 34. I have an upper Glock 35.
You sound like me.
Now, were you at one point on? I may be mistaken, but were you at one point on Team Glock or?
No, never.
Okay. I don't know why I thought that.
No, never been on Team Glock, but.
So handguns, Glock.
Yeah, I have
good choice.
I have Glocks, and I also like my MMP. I would say those are the two ones that, I put my hands on fire for. Like, you know what?
Tried and true that you would trust your life with, right?
Yes, I can say I can trust either one of these guns, and I wouldn't mind whatsoever to use them.
What about rifles?
Rifles at AR-15. I mean, some people, I used to work in a gun shop for 6 years.
Atta girl, yeah.
So, I'm pretty knowledgeable with fire rifles and handguns and all that stuff. So, people say, oh, AK-47s and stuff like that back 5, 6 years ago. And, I looked at AK-47 and I thought, yeah, if I were in the desert, But I'm in the city. I want my AR-15. So,
is there a certain model that you prefer over another on the ARs? I know you've got to have your own decked out custom AR.
Well, I have my Black Rain Ordnance.
Nice.
Which is, that thing is rock solid. It's amazing. And I also have Teledyne Tag Precision Barrel System, which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the rifles. Very simple. I don't like the standard front side post. I like my rifles to be flat, flat top, so I can put adjustable rear and front side or put an optic. For me, weight is very important because, people like to put stuff in the rifle, and you make it heavier and heavier and heavier. And if you shoot for a long period of time, that you get tired and tired and tired. I don't like to put much stuff. Just a very simple rail system.
Now, are you using, when we were at the NRA, anyway, we went to their booth and we did a review there, and he had showed us their new lightweight 4-in system. Are you using that on your...
No, right now. I'm not using that right now.
That thing was just feather light. I mean, it was ridiculous.
I was there for a few, and I grabbed it, and I could not believe how light that quad rail was.
Yeah,
it was almost unreal.
Yeah, it was just, and it's metal too. You wouldn't have believed that it was metal.
Yeah.
The first thing that you want to ask is like, is this thing gonna break?
Yeah, yeah. But no, he told us. We'll post that video soon. But he had told us everything that it was composed of, and it's tougher than nails.
And let me know when the video stops. I'll definitely.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
And there's another listener question that we might as well just turn into a segment we have here. EDC check. What we do is every time we say EDC check on the show, everybody has to go around the room and say what their everyday carry is and that they have on them now. If you don't have anything on you now because you're at home, that's fine. But just kind of say what your everyday carry is.
Yes. Well, I carry car PM9.
Nice and concealable.
I carry that one in the small of the back. I carry on me all the time. I also carry pocket knife, which one day I'll make a video and show you what is my awesome pocket knife. And I also carry my pepper spray. So all three at once.
Gotcha. Today I have got my Glock 19, and I've got it at 4 o'clock on my right hip. I've got my SOG Trident knife and the special Tool Logic with the whistle is in the car.
Actually, that one's mine. I left
Oh, is
it.
that yours?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I left it in the truck.
Well, then mine's probably still in a suitcase from last weekend.
So obviously I'm not carrying my Tool Logic today, but I do have the double agent neck knife.
Nice. Is that the cold steel?
It's the cold steel double agent neck knife with serrated edge. And then I've got my Glock 22 with Black Hawk holster side hip, and I'm wearing shorts today, so I don't have my backup on me.
He's got the Serpa.
Oh, the Serpa. Okay.
Yeah, the Serpa.
Okay, cool stuff.
Awesome.
Cool stuff. I wish I could carry a Glock 19, but if I carry, you will think I have a third leg or something.
See, but you know how tall I am, so the Glock 19 on me is like your car PM9.
And we know that, Glock 19 is not that big, but on me it looks huge. So I stick with my car PM9.
I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a video of me on our YouTube channel shooting a Desert Eagle. And everybody says I'm so big and my hands are so big, I'm making it look like a little 1911.
I haven't shot a Desert Eagle, but I have shot the 500. Man, those things kick.
Yeah, it's got a bite to it.
So I take it there's no Desert Eagles on All-Stars.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Busted. I got you.
That's funny. So are you planning on doing any movies, or have you done any movies? Has anybody approached you on stuff like that?
No, right now.
Or even consulting, like firearms consulting, anything like that?
Yeah, it's something that's still, talking about that and all that stuff, but nothing has been finalized yeah, sometimes it takes time and process. But yeah, definitely a field that will like to adventure, and for sure.
All right, so we've got another question here from one of our lady listeners. Says,
Okay.
which competitive shooting association is best for women, and how do I go about getting involved, getting started?
Well, first you have to be a woman left hand. But
I said it was a question from one of our female listeners.
You know what? That question reminds me when people ask me, what is the best gun for the beginners? It's like, you know what? There's not beginners. There's no one specifically for women competition or anything like that. I always tell my students, first, feel comfortable with the firearm. Go practice, learn, get used to the noise, get used to the people around, get used to your pistol, feel familiar with it, like you know your gun, you're friend with your gun, and then you can try anything. For women, like I said, sometimes I like to tell them, and with that said, depends on their attitude and, how outgoing they are. But I always tell them, start with Steel Challenge. Steel Challenge is not so, intimidating, because you don't have to run around most of the time. Sometimes you do, but you don't have to run around and all the mag changes and all that stuff. So you are in your spot and you shoot your steels and all that. So I always say, first get to know the fundamentals, practice, feel comfortable with the firearm first, not with everybody else, with the firearm. Feel comfortable with your firearm and start shooting steel match. That's a very good intro to accuracy and speed. And then you can move to whatever you want. And that will be, like I said, somebody that's very, starting in that. I think that's a very good path. I don't believe on, super fast and all that stuff. I believe on process, and everything's a process coming from
Form
your
before
body,
speed,
your
right?
mind. Yes, exactly. And it's your body, your mind, everything. So putting all that together, in stages.
Well, and there's something to be said in the steel match for somebody that's new to competition, the audible feedback you get from it, to where if you do IDPA and you're shooting cardboard, you don't always get that feedback.
Yeah, exactly. And, at least the steel matches, you are learning to draw, you see. Mm-hmm. And you are actually practicing your draw, you are practicing your accuracy, because steel doesn't lie. In a paper, you can bite a little bit, and
right.
I just bit a little bit here, or you just barely touched it. And
I like that. Steel doesn't lie.
No, steel, you have to really hit that, especially in competition, that you have to knock them down. It's not like just in the border. You really have to hit that thing in the middle. So steel is a very good practice. That would be my suggestion.
So tell us a lot about your instruction school that you have.
Well, I wouldn't call it school. One day I said to myself, and that everything happened one day when I lost my job, and, those times where that was way before Top Shot. No way, like a year before Top Shot. And you're like, oh my God, what can I do? What can I do that I know how to do? And one day I said, you know what? I'm going to teach people, and that was my goal, how to really shoot good. They really shoot very good. So the same concept is what I get. What I do is try making sure that not only they have a great experience, but they feel that they are more knowledgeable and they can apply that knowledge every time they go to the range. So my classes, they vary and depends on what they want, whether it's just basic class. I have, for instance, another, which is my favorite, which is in their one-on-one. That's what I'm saying. They are one-on-one based on appointments. People have to make appointments to do. So
you do private one-on-one?
Yeah, it's just by appointment. I believe on one-on-one classes. So I have one class, it's 4 hours, but each hour they learn something like basics and precision and fast. then draw from holster, and then some other techniques. So it's like a mini intense training, but it's very effective.
What about this? The shoot for pink, or shoot pink for girls. Is that what it is?
Shoot girls, yeah, shoot pink for girls.
Shoot pink
Not
for
girls.
not shoot girls. Shoot pink for girls.
shoot pink for girls. You know, the funny thing is that I'm not anything about pink. I don't have anything pink. I don't wear anything pink. But I believe on pink as the sweet, the soft side of the woman. You see, and a woman, when I hear and when I pronounce the word woman, I pronounce it with power. You know,
Right.
I am a woman, but still have that pink on me that I feel feminine. Well, you made me a chacho. I have my lipstick all the time. I don't take pictures without lipstick and all that stuff. So this
Gotta have your hair just right. Yeah.
These seminar and shooting classes are to show that you can be a strong woman in a male-dominated sport without losing the sense to be a woman. Okay,
Keeping your femininity.
Exactly.
I'll spit it out in a minute.
Exactly. It's like sometimes, and happens everywhere, whether are mechanics or in other fields, women have the tendency to try to fit in. They want to be rough. They want to be, you know, because they want that. They don't want to be looked, oh, this is the little girl. But, you know, I showed, because I've lifted and like in Top Shot and everything, that you get more respect as a woman when you know who you are and you maintain who you are no matter what.
I think there's no doubt that the respect, especially on the TV show, you can see that the guys really respect you, not only as a woman, but as a shooter.
Definitely, and that's something that a woman has to set that boundary, that you are who you are, and that's not going to be changed by anyone, but yet you are so confident that you can still, you know, hang out with them and compete with them. Whether you win, whether you lose, whether you get hurt, or whether you just have fun, and you still be who you are. So that's pretty much why I set up these trainings and these seminars.
That's a very cool seminar. Now, you're traveling for that. That's not in Miami. You're actually going to Missouri for that. Is that correct?
I actually going to have set up Missouri, Washington State in Arlington. That's in August.
Mm-hmm.
I have Houston, Texas in September, and I have Waco, Texas in beginning of November.
Awesome.
And what's the best way for people to find out about these classes? Like, is there a website, your website, or?
Definitely my website, www.gabbyfranco.com, and or my Facebook page, which I always try to update as much as I can.
Disclaimer.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But yeah, I put the seminar just because of that, because I don't want, it's great that women are getting firearms, but I want to, you know, kind of show them that you don't have to lose your
femininity.
Sorry,
I got it that time.
I'm not even going to attempt it.
But yet, you know what, having that strength and that, you know, attitude that you can be there and you belong there because you want to be there.
That's awesome.
And the first one is the first seminar in Missouri?
Yes.
June 21st through the 23rd?
Yes.
Do you want me to give out this number to our listeners?
Yeah.
417-962-GUNS. That's 417-962-4867. They can call that also and get additional information. Is that just for the Missouri show, or is that for any of your seminars?
No, that's actually only for the Missouri. I'm actually promoting that one just because it's the first one.
Right.
And as we go along, I'm going to start talking about the one in Washington State, which I think is already sold out. I haven't even promoted it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which is awesome, which is great.
Yeah.
So
So Leadheads, check it out. Go to Gabby's Facebook page. Go to her website. Call that number.
And Left Hand, Gabby said something earlier about when they're filming Top Shot, and there's so much material that they've got to use, and they've got to narrow it down to that one little show. It's kind of like we've got a lot of material here. Maybe we ought to do a segment, like a regular monthly segment with Gabby.
I think so. We've got so much information from you today, and we've got so much more that we want to talk to you about. How would you feel about coming back and doing a segment with us, say once a month or something?
I would love to.
Awesome.
I have so much fun right now that I would love to do it again. Thank you for asking.
I'm envisioning Gabby on guns.
What do you think?
Gabby on guns.
Gabby on guns.
If there are guns involved, I'm in.
There we go. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Gabby. We've had a blast talking to you and getting some good information, and we will, I guess, look forward to next month now.
Definitely. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks.
Good deal.
How cool was that talking to Gabby? She was pretty cool.
It was beyond cool.
She's a
cool chick.
Yes, she is. Gave us a lot of good content.
Can't wait to have her back on.
Oh, yeah. And subject for tonight, this is our 22nd episode.
Our main subject.
22nd episode. And, of course, we're going to talk about
22 caliber.
And I think we got some guy that just called in.
Some dude
that may want to talk. Are you there, Guy?
I'm here.
Is that
I am very much here.
Is that the voice of the 22plinkster?
Yes, I guess.
Don't sound so stinking enthusiastic, man.
And it has been a very long day at work. I'm about ready to pull my hair out, so I just want to get home and go to the range and do a little bit of shooting and try to relieve a little bit of stress. So,
hey, speaking of pulling your hair out, we're doing this fundraiser we talked about at the beginning of the show with, you've heard of AJ Hawk, right? The football player?
Yeah.
Okay, he's got a thing called Hawk's Locks for Kids. And you grow your hair out, and then you have it cut off, and they make wigs for kids that are going through chemotherapy. You want to do it with us?
Dude, I would love to do that, but I have 2 kids of my own, and I've already pulled out most of my hair with my 2 kids. So my hair is not as thick as it used to be or as long. So I would love to do that. Now, I have a mullet I could probably donate,
there you go.
that you've seen on some of my videos. But my hair does not grow very fast or very long or very thick. I miss being 18 years old. So I used to have a head full of cavities.
They make vitamins.
Those days are way gone.
Yeah, Left Hand said with me doing this fundraiser, I'm going to end up looking like Chewbacca. So
you'd be legitimate now.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we had this question. A listener asked Gabby. I just want to make sure it wasn't you. Somebody sent an anonymous question to Gabby, asked if Colby is really that cute in real life. That wasn't you.
No, it was not me. Okay. I promise you that.
I just wanted to make sure.
It could have been 10 Outdoors 9.
Could have been 10 Outdoors,
not me.
Yeah, I thought it was Left Hand. He didn't claim it, so I'm just kind of asking around now, making sure.
He does have really white teeth, though.
Yes, he does. I noticed that. They're like extremely bright white.
I know. I can't even stare at my TV when I watch him come on. He starts smiling.
He's buffed up a little bit too, hasn't he? Aren't his arms a little more bulky than they used to be?
Okay, now I'm really starting to think that was you asking the question, Left Hand. You're noticing how buff he's getting.
He was bulging in that shirt last night.
So, Plinkster Man, we know you shoot these little things called 22s.
Yeah, I've been known to shoot 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah. What's kind of like your favorite brand? Do you have like a favorite round of 22?
Well, I get this question asked a lot. Probably just everyday plinking. What I've probably done 95% of my trick shots with is just straight up Federal 525 bulk pack, the Champion, the blue box.
Yeah.
That is my favorite bulk ammo to shoot. It's a 36 grain copper jacketed bullet. So I like when you shoot in large quantities of 22, you want to go with a jacketed bullet instead of using a lead, because lead, man, it just smokes a little bit more, fouls up your barrel, and just makes your pistol or rifle really dirty. But I like shooting lead more or less when I'm shooting a rifle. But for pistol, give me the jacketed rounds all day.
What do you think's worse for like the fouling up your rifle, the lead or those golden bullets?
Oh wow,
those things are pretty nasty.
Yeah, the golden bullets, they serve their purpose. There's some guns, semi-automatic firearms that cycle those things fine. I'm not a huge fan of them, but there are some firearms that's all they will cycle is the golden bullet for some strange reason. I think it's because the bullet's very, very, very loose in that casing, and so I think that's the only reason why, a couple firearms cycle it pretty well. But
Gotcha.
I'm not a fan of the golden bullet, but I think I'd rather shoot a good quality lead bullet before I'd shoot a golden bullet.
What about, are you starting to see some of the prices or the availability of 22 get back to normal? Or?
Well, believe it or not, 22 ammo is coming back. I think a lot of it has to do with people, the main scare and all that stuff. It's not gone, but it's not the way it used to be with the gun laws that may have been presented, nationwide. But, 22s, they will be coming back. I'm starting to see a few more on shelves of different, name brands. Not anything that I shoot, but I am seeing some stuff. I actually got a text message today from 10 Outdoors 9 that he was at a place in Nashville, and they had tons of CCI. So that, that's a good sign. I've had 20,000 rounds on back order since January, and I have yet to see that ammo. So I can't wait till that gets in so I can do a little bit more shooting than what I'm doing now. So, but I think by probably October, November, you should see the 22 ammo on every shelf that it used to be.
That'll be good. It'd be nice to see that.
I think that's going to be all ammo in the next 8 months. It's my prediction.
Yeah, and that's saying that nothing else crazy happened.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, if it's just like it is. Yeah, if it's just like it is now, nothing crazy is happening in the United States with a mass shooting or anything like that. Nobody is scare tactics and things of that nature. If everything's just calm the way it is, I predict 22 ammo will be on shelves October, November.
So do you have something coming up? I know the last time you were on our show, you announced you're going to take a little hiatus. And I've been seeing these rumors floating around Facebook and on YouTube that your channel is about to come back with a big bang.
Yes, it is. And I'm very excited about it. There's another YouTube channel called Rated RR. And he's a good friend of mine. He's a fellow Tennessean, but he lives in California. And he owns a high-speed camera. And, man, I can't tell you how many thousands and thousands of comments I've gotten, or, private messages saying, hey, you need a high-speed camera. If you look at any of my videos, you just read in the comments, and the number one comment is, you need a high-speed camera. Well, those high-speed cameras, they're tens of thousands, and sometimes if you get a really good one, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And my small YouTube budget, not buying one. So but me and the Rated RR hooked up. We started talking probably about October, November. And finally, this weekend, I will be shooting with him and his high-speed camera. So I'm going to do some stuff for his channel. And then after we get done doing that, I'm going to try to revisit a lot of my trick shots. Well, not a lot of them. I'm going to try to revisit probably 10 or 12 of them.
Wow.
Try to get it at high speed. I don't know. I don't know how well it's going to work out. I don't know how the weather's going to do tomorrow because, you get a camera that's out, outside worth a couple $100,000.
Right.
And, there's chance of rain. You get kind of, on edge a little bit. So, but,
it's called reschedule.
I can't wait. Yeah, and there's no rescheduling because he came in from California. One of the reasons why he came into California was to do this. And so we were supposed to do it last week, but it's just some things happened with his plane ticket. We couldn't meet up. But I'm gonna leave in the morning, and this is I guess Thursday. I'm gonna leave in the morning about 5:30 and drive for about 2 hours and shoot till probably dark. So
awesome!
Really, really looking forward to it. So hopefully, I can do what I usually do, and I just don't, get a brain fart or something and forget how to shoot. So hopefully that'll happen.
Mr. Humble again.
No, I'm being serious. I love shooting, and I get nervous shooting around people. That's why I don't shoot any competition or anything like that, because I really get nervous shooting around people. With sports, it was not like that. I fed on the adrenaline with sports. You played basketball too. You remember when I used to school you back in high school.
Wait, what was that last part? I think you just brain farted.
Jab, jab, jab.
Could we get that brain fart on a high-speed camera?
No, I used to thrive on adrenaline, pumped up and stuff.
Sure.
But when you're shooting, especially being a precision shooter, you don't want the adrenaline running through you because you want a steady aim. You want to be able to put that bullet where you want to put it. And I think that I hope I don't get too excited and worked up about it. Hopefully I can hit my target tomorrow, or targets, because it's going to be, man, I spent $120 at Walmart just buying targets to shoot for the high-speed camera. So
awesome.
about $120 at Walmart and probably another $25 at the Dollar Tree. So I love the Dollar Tree because all targets are $1. So, I just went and just bought a bunch of stuff for $1 to shoot because I thought it looked pretty cool with the high-speed camera.
That's what we did with our Hickok.
Our Hickok tree.
Video.
We just went to the dollar store and just went to town. Awesome. Well, so everybody check out in the next, few weeks or so? Probably.
Yeah, well, I don't know when it's going to be because I'm going to, like I said, we're going to do some stuff for his channel first. We're going to get that out of the way. Probably 2 or 3 videos, maybe, hopefully. And then after that, whatever time past that we're going to use throughout the day, we're going to be revisiting some of my trick shots. And if I get 10 of them done, I will be very happy. But he's just giving me the footage, and I'm editing it. So it's whenever I have time to edit it, and it's a little bit more editing than involved in just my videos. Because usually, I'm serious, I can go out and do a trick shot, done editing all within like 30 to 45 minutes, and I've got a video. This is not going to be the case. So I'm going to try to put a little bit of music with it and everything else. So. I'm excited. I'm really excited how it actually is going to look. Do you have any requests what you want me to shoot tomorrow, or what do you want me to do?
Just the same request I request every time you ask. Do we have any requests?
What was that? Because I get a lot of them. I'm sorry.
Well, I think back we kind of talked about it on the last show you were on, but there was like a big box of 22 and then 2 other smaller boxes of 22, and it was like, hey, I'll do a tribute video to this show called Talking Lead.
Yeah. Now, this is not the one where, because, man, I get a lot of requests. This is not the one where you're talking about where somebody wants me to stand on one end and somebody stand on the other end and shoot a bullet at each other and hit the bullets in the middle. You don't want me to do that, do you?
No, that's what the listeners wanted you to do. We'll allow you to be safe.
But that's a little, yeah. I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night.
You do the bank shot bullet.
That's called a duel.
A duel, yeah, that is what that's called. So
that's called a lose.
Yeah, nobody's going to win in that situation at all.
Not at all. It won't be fun.
So, Plinkster,
it would not.
You be creative.
Have you acquired any new pistols since we talked to you last, or rifles?
Let me see. When was I on the show last?
Long time ago.
3 months ago?
Oh my, yes.
It was still cold.
Yeah, let me see. I bought a nylon 66. I've always wanted one of those things, 22. Bought one of those. Oh, yes. Yes, I did buy a new firearm, a 9mm. Listen, I had to hurry up and buy one of these things if I was going to keep hanging out with people like you guys and Outdoors 9 and Hickok. I bit the bullet and bought a. It's hard for me to say.
We're helping. Glock.
I bought a Glock.
Yeah! Woohoo!
I didn't say I liked it.
But you are an owner of a Glock. That's what matters.
But I am an owner of a Glock because, I was going to lose a lot of friends if I didn't own a Glock. So I went ahead. I bought a Glock 19. It was actually my sister's, and she was like, well, you want to buy it? I'm like, yeah, I want to buy it. And I got the family discount, so it worked out pretty well. Nice. And she went and bought that. What's that little SIG? They make them in 380 and 9mm. It looks like a little 1911.
Yeah,
I can't think of the model right now. My mind went blank.
Is it the 220?
It's like a... I can't think.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
There's probably your listeners right now screaming at their, smartphone and computer saying, "Oh, it's this." But I just can't remember what it is. So, but she bought that in a little 380,
I think you just created this week's trivia question.
Yeah, there you go. So it's a very common pistol, and I shot it, and this thing shoots great.
Nice.
I like it. So, but yes, I am an owner. I didn't say proud owner. I said I am an owner of a Glock 19 now. So, and you know what? I took it out to the range, and I fired. I think I put 10 rounds in a magazine. And I fired, and I kept them all, about the size of a tennis ball at 30, 35 feet. So
you didn't vomit?
No, I didn't. It's just getting used to that grip angle, that hump, and those sights. It's just, man, it's just a lot to get used to. But I will. Well, you've got to shoot it a lot to get there, and I can't promise you that I'm going to shoot it a lot. So, but now I can tell people, I own a Glock, and when I tell them I don't own a Glock, they kind of look at me funny. So now I can say at least I own a Glock.
There you go. Well, thanks for calling in, man. And everybody out there, even if it does take a little while, go ahead and go and subscribe to Rated RR's channel and also 22plinksters channel, and eventually you'll see those videos pop up. But go ahead and subscribe
to my channel first.
Yeah,
so,
22plinksters. Ferks?
Yeah, then go to Rated. No.
SIG P238.
Oh, you just gave away the answer.
SIG P238.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So I like that little pistol. It's pretty awesome.
I can't have SIG as a trivia question. Sorry.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, thanks for having me on again.
Thanks, 22.
So that was really cool for Plinkster to call in on our 22nd episode. Yeah, being 22 Plinkster, 22nd episode. Appreciate it, man.
Talking about 22 cows.
Thanks a bunch. So give us some background on the 22 left hand.
Well, I don't really know a lot of history on it, but it's been around for a while. But it's probably one of the most popular rounds that there is, and that's due to its low cost, minimal recoil, and the noise. You got relatively low noise. It's an ideal cartridge for recreational shooting, initial firearms training, small game hunting, and, quote, pest control.
Varmint control. Rodents,
little rabbits, things eating your garden up, things like that. You want to be shooting insects with it, like roaches. Of course, if you're in Texas, you could probably shoot roaches with it and be fine. I'm just getting a head nod from you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we are on radio. Yes, you're right. They are the big cockroaches there.
Everything's big in Texas.
We've been doing this YouTube thing. I get used to being on video. I got to remember to say something.
Speak up, son. Nowadays, everything's hard to find. So if you can find them, they're still going to be relatively the cheapest for the amount of ammo that you can find. Not to mention that the diversity. A lot of the manufacturers now make conversions for their either 9s or 40s or whatever they are, to a 22, so you could pop in a 22 barrel, special magazines. ARs are doing that now. Mm-hmm. So
you could save a lot of money by doing that. I mean, still get a little bit of recoil and feel it, but you're saving a ton of money. You're seeing you're
getting the training on the platform itself, whether it's a 1911 that you put a conversion in or a Glock or an AR. You're still getting the weight and feel of the weapon. And it's like Jaeger told us too. It's like, if you're practicing, use cheap ammo. If you're training, use the good stuff. Use the real ammo. So by no means should you switch out your AR, convert it to a 22 to go to a training class. You need to train with the ammo that you're going to be fighting with or defending yourself with, versus just going home and practicing, your target shooting and stuff like that. Two different mindsets on why you would want to do something like that.
And now it's time for Facts to fight the myth. I don't know what just happened in that Facts to fight the myth left hand, but
I think Marty,
a weird noise.
Marty from
the campaign.
The campaign jumped in there. Yeah.
So what's your myth this week, left hand?
That you don't need to wear hearing protection when shooting a 22. Even though that may be true in some loads for the 22, it's still capable of putting out enough decibels that could damage your hearing, especially if you're going to shoot a whole lot of rounds. So you still need to wear your ear protection when you're shooting the 22, just to be on the safe side.
Well, my fact to fight the myth when it comes to the 22 long rifle bullet, you always hear, a 22 is more effective because when you shoot a 22 into somebody, it just bounces around all over their body. It's not true. If you shoot any bullet and it hits the ribcage, it's going to bounce and ricochet off into somewhere else. But there's no perpetual energy that's going to continue to bounce around inside their body. Usually when it starts hitting structures and soft tissue, it slowly starts to slow down. So this whole myth that everybody says, oh, well, you shoot somebody with a 22 and that thing will bounce around at least a dozen times. No, it's not going to happen. There's physics involved, and it's going to eventually come to a stop. It doesn't have.
Isn't that kind of what you want it to do, though?
What's that?
Bounce around. That does maximum damage.
You would love that, but it doesn't bounce around a bunch of times like everybody says a 22 long. It bounce off a rib. It'll probably tumble a little bit, and it'll come to a stop. So yeah. It's not this super ball of bullets that you can throw and it just bounces off every wall inside of somebody's body. Yeah, you know those little super balls you get at the store and you throw them against the wall.
Okay, I got you.
And they go
I'm with
everywhere.
you. Yeah.
So
Super ball.
that is my fact to fight the myth. So this week we only have one new listener feedback. The listener is Ronnie. Ronnie says, message, I just wanted to say that your show is very entertaining and fast moving. 90 minutes blow by. Well, Ronnie, it looks like this one's going to be a little bit longer than 90 minutes, so you're lucky on that one.
I'm going to have to divide into 2 shows.
Oh, speaking of which, we got to apologize because we said we were going to have a second show last week. This should be probably in our corrections, but we'll do it now. We got to that class, and it was so intense and so, like, subject matter intensive that we were learning.
We had homework.
Yeah,
dudes.
we had homework to do that night, so we weren't able to sit down and record. Plus, we were exhausted. I mean, every day at the range, we were there, 6 hours at the range the first day?
No, longer than that.
Longer than that.
Well, we had classroom and then we had range.
Yeah, so I mean, we were tanked, and then we had homework that night. So we
chewing
were
our ass constantly too.
Yeah, we weren't able to get that second show in, but we're hoping there's going to be some things fall in line where we're going to start being able to do some more shows. Anyways,
but we're cutting in YouTube videos in between too, so
yeah.
Check out the YouTube videos too, guys.
Definitely go subscribe to that YouTube channel. Yeah. Just Talking Lead on YouTube.
Get to see Zeke's pretty face.
Yeah, my Chewbacca looking face.
Soon to be.
Ronnie says, I just wanted to say that your show is very entertaining, fast-moving, 90 minutes blow by. I think I already said that. But, he says, unlike many shows where there's conversation, yours is fun, like not boring. I get sick of snickering, giggling, dorkiness in other shows. Oh, you mean like juvenile people?
We've never been accused of being juvenile, have we?
No, not at all.
Our show subject matter.
Your program is informative and straight up funny. Thanks, Ronnie. Please keep bringing humor, guests, controversy, and debate. My first gun was a single-shot 20 gauge given to me by my dad when I was early teens. Lost touch with shooting until 4 years ago. I am now 47. I am hooked. My first purchase was a Ruger 2245. I now own Ruger 22s, Rugers, CZ 9mm, Ruger 1911, 45
I hear
ACP.
Ruger.
I'm hearing a lot of Ruger, too. Oh, down here at the bottom, I like Ruger. He likes Ruger.
Hey, Ronnie, I got a Ruger 357 GP 141. Oh. If you're interested. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I also appreciate their open commitment to advocacy, which Ruger does. Ruger.com had that, or still has the letter.
Yeah, they're one of the companies, one of the big companies that stepped up.
Lastly, I reload. Oh, he gives us a movie, Sergeant Alvin York and The Matrix.
The Matrix.
Those are two drastically different movies right there, but two very good movies at the same time.
Well, if you think about it, it's one guy taking out a lot of guys, so It's very similar.
And Alvin C. York is from?
Alvin C. York's from Jamestown.
There you go. Jamestown, Tennessee.
I had a baseball coach from there.
There you go. So he says his EDC is either the Ruger LCP with Laser Max or Ruger SR9 CT. How did I know he was going to have Rugers?
Double Rugers.
One of his 3 Spyderco Manix 2s, a Phoenix E15 keychain light, Streamlight Stylus Pro, LaRue Tactical keychain Armadillo bottle opener. Wow. Putting a hurting on a bad guy or a cold one. Kingston keychain thumb drive. And he's like Artisan Tony. Artisan Tony had the thumb drive and all that stuff on his keychain.
He did.
An S-Beaner 2-side carabiner on a keychain. Backup bottle top opener. Yeah, smart. He's all about the bottle top openers. Smart man, Ronnie. I like it.
My pack. And I think everybody should have a jump drive, flash drive as part of their EDC because they're just, I mean, it's mainstay nowadays. It's an easy way to transfer data.
Me, I'm just going to say, here, can I have your?
Well, it's not all about being attacked, Zeke. It's about being prepared for all kinds of different situations where you might need to transfer data or get data. Keep your little flash drive, and it makes it quick and easy.
There you go. And then at the end, he says, keep up the great work.
So we've had minimal, to say the least, interest, it seems, in our trivia questions.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's like the last 2 times we've only had like 2 or 3 people answer.
And
we
then-
got some good
and-
swag here to give away.
and the
now.
last one we didn't have any response to at all.
Yeah, and we see you're listening. Don't try to sneak around and not want to answer. We
So,
see.
I mean, if
the
you don't like
downloads
the
we
trivia
get.
questions section, we'll cut it out of the show. So give
But
us
we
some
need your feedback.
Let us know if you like it. If you don't like it, it's fine. It doesn't matter to us one way or the other. We just do it because it's fun. So
Yeah, it's and we're starting as we're getting bigger and as more people are finding out about us. There's people sending us some cool stuff. I mean, really, really cool stuff we want to give away, but we can't give it away.
But
if
we don't do it just for that. We do it because it's fun.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't be expecting to get something every time we do it. Just do it because you enjoy it. And if you know the answer, shout it out.
So we're throwing our tantrum, and you better answer. When? So last week's trivia question, which we never got. Last week's trivia question, which we never got an answer to,
Still stands.
Still stands. It was on the Reaper Outdoors video on our YouTube channel where we interviewed Doug Dadish, who was here last week on the show, Reaper 02. What are the 2 NFL teams that he played for? He says it in that video about halfway through. So check it out, answer it, or if not, just let us know. Say, yeah, trivia's kind of cheesy, but either way, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So let us know.
All right.
Don't forget to check out our sponsors.
HG Press, Holder and Green Professional Real Estate Services.
Also, All or Nothing Tattoo, allornothingtattoo.com, and their gear store is strangleholdmerch.com. Firearms Radio Network, our bandwidth sponsor. They are firearmsradio.tv. See all the different podcasts that are on there. Check out our Facebook page, like us there, Twitter, and now Instagram. Which, if you're part of Twitter, you're going to get the Instagram pics anyways. But if you are on Instagram, check it out. It's just Talking Lead on there.
And also check out Ergo Grips, ergogrips.com.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ernie, again.
And, of course, GabbyFranco.com. Thank you so much, Gabby, for coming on the show.
You're awesome, Gabby.
Time.
We're looking forward to our segment with you.
Exactly.
Gabby on Guns.
And 22plinksters YouTube channel. Just go there, type in the number 22 and the word Plinkster. And then Richard Ryan's, which is Rated RR. Just go to Rated RR on YouTube. He's got some really cool 50 BMG videos.
Check out Artisan Tony on YouTube.
Yep.
Check out TN Outdoors 9 on YouTube.
Hickok 45.
Hickok 45.
All our buddies, James Yeager at Tactical Response.
And Tactical Response. Again, thank you, James. It was a great weekend.
Learned
a ton. Can't thank you enough, buddy. Appreciate it.
I had a blast. And as always, left hand, keep your loved ones close.
And keep your firearms closer.